app has changed from SaiyanGod.
Yeah, but I'm sure people would know the ad from that.
From the profile name, yeah.
Yeah, because that's what he's used for so long.
Because, like, I wanted him to change it, and then he was like, oh, the website won't let me change it.
You know, that's bullshit. It's so easy to change your ad.
I had his account information. That's why I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'll go and do it for you. And I did it for him before I logged out for the last time.
So what's his at now? Because he has me blocked.
29.
That's so unoriginal.
He wanted me to say, like, Saiyan Prince or something like that. I was like, okay, I'll do that.
Oh, jeez. But,
I should have put it as Fucktard 101.
Oh, wow.
Some bullshit. No, I'm kidding.
Alright, so, now that we've started the stream, I guess. So, welcome to the first, I guess, episode of what I call DivineKamiKast, I guess. Get it? Because it's a fucking cast. I don't know. It's a stupid-ass pun. Anyways. Oh, it's my friend Q. He's listening. Okay, so we're gonna be discussing first off, we're gonna like do a recap of like the entire like drama situation going on with Prince, and we have the first-hand account here, which is her name is Mizuna, and she's the ex of Prince. They recently cut ties because of the situation going on with Prince, and, you know...
And how he was treating me.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking garbage. So I'll let you give us a little recap here of the whole situation here.
Are you talking about, like, how he treated me?
Yeah, just...
Okay, so he would always drag me through drama for absolutely no reason. And he'd involve my name whenever... like, without even asking me. He was never satisfied with what he had whenever it came to ships and stuff like that. He would constantly complain and hold me back from doing what I wanted with my OC. See what else? He's talked shit about so many of my friends for no reason at all. And he tried to steal a couple of fees, which I'm pretty sure y'all are probably going to find out by the end of this broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
And rape them.
So that's just like background information of what's been going on behind the scenes, stuff that we haven't known. But the reason the whole drama started, and the reason several accounts of issues with Prince has been brought up, is because it originally started with a case of Prince accusing people and stealing OCs, which is perfection behavior, aka the super Itachi, the kind of shit that he'd do. And that, you know, obviously that's not okay. That's kind of cringe in my grandest opinion. But then eventually, because I got the hunch that he could be a fucking pedophile because he liked being compared to perfection, so I went undercover and as a 14-year-old, and he knowingly sent pornography to who we thought was a 14-year-old, which, if you didn't know, is a felony in the United States. And that alone can make him a registered sex offender. But that's what really kind of set things off, and just the shit that he, like, the way he's dealt with it in general I'd say, correct me if I'm wrong, is a huge reason for why you and Prince split in the first place, is because of how poorly he was handling it, and how he was just justifying his behavior.
It was how poorly he was handling it. He was getting himself into constant drama. And no offense to y'all, but I also hated I was getting dragged into it half of the time, too. And being blamed because of association. Which is fine, but I understand.
Legally, the thing is legally, though, when it comes to association, if you're directly involved and you're on that kind of side, then there's not much we can do.
Yeah.
Because that's the side that that law enforcement would take, too. And because I know that you were dragged into this, and this really doesn't have too much to do with you, I'm going to do my best to try to keep you out of it. And
yeah, that's fine. I respect that.
Because
I appreciate it.
Because I know legally, once we do something with Prince, there's always that chance that the police could get you too, just for being involved with it. And
Yeah,
I'm gonna do my best personally to plead that case and help you out. Yeah. It was really him who was sending all that shit, and
yeah.
But it's just a whole lot of really suspicious shit that he's done, so we're trying to get him for that. So is there any other details you want to go over before we go over any updates and thoughts over this whole situation?
Well, I'm going to say this because I did admit it to the person that Prince had stolen OCs from. He did ask me, should I do this? But obviously I was tired of being his mother by that time, so I fucking lied to him in hopes that he would make the right choice.
Yeah.
And obviously he didn't.
And he still willingly did all this. So I'm curious as to what was going on with the whole thing where he was just the whole edits thing. When you guys were just editing over yourselves, over other ships and other artwork, what was going on with that?
So whenever it came to that, Prince didn't know any better, obviously, and was deciding to do that because he was extremely insecure about that even existing, and he had the mindset of, both of us don't have a lot of money. Maybe I can do this, and that way it'll be redone. So
what I'm getting from this is, he was jealous over any other ships your characters had, so he decided to, because he didn't have the money to recommission artwork or to at least kind of, from what I'm getting from this is he was trying to counterbalance it. He was trying to get.
I somewhat understand.
He was trying to counterbalance it, in my opinion, because he was trying to get more artwork of your main ship from now than the other stuff that was going on, so that he could feel less insecure. But he didn't have the money, so he decided to just trace / edit over other people's artwork.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I know, and I kept having to argue with him, and I'm just like, I fucking stop, this OC ain't yours. Jeez. And then he tried, and it was a never-ending battle, unfortunately.
So, you tried doing your best to tell him that you don't want artwork to be stolen for this?
So, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I didn't necessarily know it was wrong until people started coming to me saying, hey, this is wrong, please get them to stop.
But from what it sounds like is after you've realized that fact, you did try to warn him about it.
Yeah, I tried. But he didn't listen.
There is some faults at that because you didn't know, but that's because you didn't know, and that's understandable.
Yeah, I'm not an artist. I'm not going to know everything between what's right and wrong.
Yeah, and that's understandable, especially if you're not, if you don't understand that kind of shit. And I personally won't hold you for that. And if anything, it's, you did your best to try to stop him, but that was literally just that's just him just not listening, and that has nothing to do with you at that point. The best thing to do is to just separate yourself from the situation.
I tried throughout everything to get him to stop what he was doing, but he would never listen.
And I'm honestly glad you separated yourself because at that point, because I've dealt with a lot of situations like this growing up because my brother would always get me into trouble, and I'd always tell my parents, well, he's always telling me to do this, or he's not listening. But, I'd still fucking comply with it. And it's good that you separated yourself from that, or else that would not look very good if you're telling him to stop, but you're still not doing too much to help. But you did separate yourself from the situation, and that's fucking awesome.
Yeah. It was getting to be mentally tiresome, per se. So I had to do what I had to do.
You know what? That's respectable.
It was 2 years that I was with him that he did this shit. 2 fucking years.
I understand. I understand the fucking strain of having to deal with drama. As you know, and I'm sure as a lot of people know from the earlier days of me on Twitter, which was around like 2018 to 2019. Mm-hmm. No, specifically to 2020, I think. I wasn't exactly the most nice person. I got pretty toxic after some terrible experiences, and that's kind of no excuse. But the thing is the best you got to do is just to learn and move on from it and try to be a different person than you were yesterday. And I've had my fair share of drama, and I can understand the personal strain that comes with it. At a certain point, I just said, I don't want to fucking do this anymore, and I tried to make myself better as a person so I didn't have to encounter situations like this.
Exactly.
And it takes a lot of effort to be able to move on from these things and to try to make that effort. It's hard.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm already over it. I feel better personally, but whenever it comes to dating, I'm just taking my sweet time for now.
And honestly, that's what I do, especially after a situation like that. It's best to just take a step back and relax from it. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of what else to talk about here. Oh yeah. So are there any thoughts you have over what's going on, and if you can you share any updates of the situation and ideas of how we can approach it now?
I mean, I'm trying to think here. Well, the updates, Kami, you already found out because you started proof for yourself in my server, but... Yeah,
but, we gotta tell whoever the fuck is watching this shit.
Yeah, I know, that's
the whole point of talking about it.
So, me and him got into a fucking argument today. It was earlier today. He tried to steal a couple of my transformations that an artist friend of mine made for me as a gift that I had let Prince borrow.
Yeah.
To be nice. And I had sent screenshot proof from the artist saying I can do whatever I want with those forms, that they were mine.
I wouldn't say exactly that it's stealing, if anything. I think the wording for this would be that you let him borrow it, but, the thing is you told him, I don't want you to borrow these transformations anymore, especially with what's going on. And I wouldn't say it's really stealing, but it's more that he's not listening. You've kindly asked him to not use the transformations, but he's sitting here saying that he's not going to, and because he's refusing, and because they're your transformations, because they were gifted to you, then they have literally, Prince has no option but to not listen, because you're asking nicely and just being a decent person about it.
Yeah, and then he started to be a dick about it and started argument, then blocked me after.
So tell me what happened after that. How did you resolve that situation?
I mean, I haven't. Even whenever I sent screenshot proof of me asking the artist myself what needed to be done in regards to the transformations, Prince completely ignored that, and he was like, I don't believe that. And I was like, well, fine, go talk to the artist yourself. They'll tell you the same thing.
So he's not listening to it at all, even though there's screenshot proof from the people who've done this for you.
Yeah. And mind you, I didn't pay for it. It was something free that was designed.
But see, whenever it comes to something that's being given to someone, and this is kind of an ideology I've had held up since I was really young, because my parents would take a lot of things away from me for absolutely no reason. I would literally just sit there and then they'd yell at me for it. If you're going to give someone something, if you're going to gift them something, it immediately gets removed from your possession to the person you're giving it to. You cannot just take it back because you feel like it. So, in this case, because it was gifted to you, it's yours. And if you decide that someone who's borrowing the idea can't use that idea anymore, then there's nothing for them to fucking say because it's yours. It's your transformations because it was given to you.
Exactly.
So you have the ultimate say in this situation, and it's something like a recent situation I've had actually recently. It was we decided to rebrand Forge, which is the whole idea that the one fun and I had. But I rebranded the logo specifically because he decided he wanted to separate from Forge because he has his own personal issues, and I understand. And I didn't want to run Forge either at the time because we all had our own shit to worry about. But I changed the logo not only out of respect, but because he said that he wanted to use it for other like characters and whatnot, because it was a symbol he used before Forge, and he had like his own ties to it. And because I borrowed, because we borrowed the design from that for the Forge logo, you know, it's borrowed. It's still his, but we used it for Forge. And because it's his, you know, of course I have to respect that decision. So I decided to take the logo out. Exactly. So that he can use it. It's because it's theirs, they can decide, and if you're borrowing it, you really have no choice just to be like, okay, well, I just won't use it anymore.
Exactly, and like, here's the thing, I was gonna give up and just fine, I'll just say whatever, you can have them. But then I thought about it, like, he's stolen shit from others before. I'm not gonna let him do that to me.
That's respectable. That's respectable.
So I automatically took that decision back, and he got pissy.
And he's just acting like a fucking child.
Yeah. And then he was also trying to victim blame me, too.
That's, you know, I noticed that's what he also tried to do when he figured out that the whole sting operation that was set up. He tried to blame it on me, for me, because I remember one of his big excuses is it doesn't count because it was a fucking setup, and.
It still does.
It still does. It's a tactic that's used in the FBI and the police. It's used everywhere. Chris Hansen is famous for this.
Exactly.
If I remember correctly. Shoot. Yeah, he said that one of his other things was... I'm trying to remember... Oh, he said that he was being framed, which is just fucking hilarious because it just makes it sound like he doesn't know what the word framed means.
But then I looked at it, I thought about it more, I was like, nah, that's fucking bait.
Because being framed is someone doing something else and then just like saying that you did it. But you were directly involved with this, and this is something that you did. You're not being framed, you were baited. Because you were directly involved with it.
And then as soon as I figured out that happened, I was like, Prince, are you fucking stupid? He's like, what? And he's like, what? But were you just not in that call? I'm just like, obviously I was in that call, but...
He was in that call, he was sending images, and even though I did delete my shit, after what I said, it was only so that you guys couldn't really trace it back to me, because I used my main Discord account for the fucking bait, because I was too lazy to make a new one.
Yeah, I kind of figured it was you because it appeared as Kami after.
Oh yeah, it was me. But, see, I deleted my shit, but not without taking screenshots. I actually have screenshots and I've sent it over. I've archived the entire conversations, and at that point it doesn't matter if I delete it because I'd have the proof there. And even then, you know, like his fucking images and whatnot weren't deleted, so the proof is, you know, still there even if you look back at it, and there's still proof that at least some of the conversation existed.
Yeah, exactly.
But he fell for it. He fell for the obvious bait, and it was obvious. Like, I made sure, like, from the very beginning he knew that I was supposed to be a minor. So he can't say he didn't know until I flat out said it. Because I hinted at it and said, okay, I need permission to get Discord from my mom or some shit like that after I'm done with school or something like that. And I fucking drop it, and I flat out had to say it for him to fucking realize it.
Literally,
and he still continued.
Look at the bio.
He still continued to say that, and he can't say, well, I haven't actually done any lewd RP. Well, I hate to break it to you, but it's still a felony to say that you're going to do something sexual with a minor. You don't even have to do it. And it's in the cases like these are shown in Chris Hansen episodes all the time. Because like, motherfucker, literally, all they have to do is like, tell you that they're planning on doing something sexual with that minor. That's all they have to do, and that's literally enough to get them.
That's why I whenever Prince showed me a screenshot, so I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He's like, what? And I pointed it out, and he was like, oh.
Whether he RP'd or not, he still said he was gonna do it, knowing full well, and even after I said, oh, well, I'm 14, even after the fact, he still said he was gonna do it, which is what fucking got him.
I know.
And honestly, when it comes to the whole legal situation, all they could really do about you is association, but even then it's not gonna be as bad because you didn't say you were gonna do anything, you didn't directly say that you were gonna RP with me or anything. And that honestly fucking saved you, and I'm honestly glad that you didn't end up falling for that, because that would have been a whole fucking problem with you and Prince, and I know how you don't want to be dragged into drama.
I know what that's like, and I know you already know, but I was telling
I made it so obvious that this was bait. Like, the whole mic being broken thing, you should have seen that. Because, like, the whole mic being broken thing, think about it. You saw, like, the mobile icon for my...
And then you went on to say, oh, I'm using wired headphones, it's okay.
Yeah, and the mobile icon... Yeah, a phone doesn't need fucking... I'm not using headphones right now. A phone not only doesn't need it, and you could tell I was using a phone because they have specific icons for when you're active on Discord. There's an icon for when you're online on your phone and online on your computer. And obviously I'm using my phone. So this was so fucking obvious that even the dumbest fucking person could have spotted it. But he still not only took the bait, but went along with it knowing the information of that he was interacting with who he thought was a minor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just fucking holy shit. Not only do you have to be really stupid, but really fucked up to still want to do something like that. And I specifically made an excuse hoping that his morality would kick in, saying, oh, it's legal in my country or some shit. Whether it's legal in my country or not, it's not legal in the US, and you should not fucking do that.
Yeah, and plus here's the thing.
Morality should kick in and tell you, wait a minute, but this is a kid right here, I shouldn't do this.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, another thing that made me automatically do something was up. How the fuck would a random know that we live in America? Considering you said, oh, I know America's strict.
Mm-hmm. I made sure it was obvious too, because I hoped that y'all would at least catch on and say I'm not about that life. But Prince was too stupid and he took the bait, and honestly I didn't expect it to go as well. And originally the whole catfishing thing was supposed to last like 2 weeks. That's what, because I didn't tell like the whole group behind this that I was doing it until after I already set it up and after I was already talking to Prince. But once the one fun, aka Mick, I just call him Mick because I know him on a first name basis. But after I told Mick about this, we were like full sail, and he was like, "Fuck yeah, we can use this. We can use this to help our situation out." And he wasn't involved with it like until after, and he was just kind of helping plan out like how long we do this. Originally, it was going to be for 2 weeks, but because I decided to push on and go the extra mile and decide to set up a second call, which was with Prince. You weren't there, but I set up because if I remember correctly, so with the first call when it was you and Prince, I was just in a PlayStation party with my friend Chip, and and he was there as a witness just to, he didn't know about any of this, but he was there as a witness just to kind of help testify to our friends and make sure, I'm not lying or some shit.
Yeah.
But, Jesus Christ.
That's my dog.
Fat ass fucking bitch. But, like, that was the first time. The second time, which is the one I was talking about, the one that was recorded, I got confused between the two. But the one that was recorded was the one where it was just Prince, and he was silent for the most part. And this is what really made us, like, sick to our stomachs about this. Bro was in voice chat for 7 to 8 hours, drawing that traced artwork of him fucking Android 21, specifically after the whole thing with, the bait. And it was just sickening to me. Like, the whole thing was because I honestly chose Android 21 out of complete random, and I didn't know it was going to work as well as it did. But he was like, he was just talking in morbid detail about how much he had a thing for Android 21, and him knowing that I was posing, like, that I was a minor, just made it fucking sickening to me, and to everyone else who fucking saw that. And that's what got me. And even after, like, finding out the age thing, even after the whole conversation we had, he was sitting in there for 7 to 8 hours drawing this thing, doing God knows what to his own willy, fucking. And it was just like fucking creepy ass shit, which is why we talked about it and used it as a point, I guess. And it's just fucking wow, the lengths that he go, and he fell for the bait so fucking clearly, and then on top of that, he's literally fantasizing about doing all this shit. And it's just like, because at this point it doesn't seem just like an accidental, oh shit, I fell for it, but it just seems as if, like, that's genuinely the type of thing he's attracted to and the type of person he is. It just seems too genuine to be like a slip up,
Mm-hmm.
And that's what has me terrified more than anything. And I'm glad that I did set this up, because who knows, an actual minor could have gotten involved with this shit and their safety could have been at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just fucking insane.
Yeah, exactly.
What's your thoughts on the whole sting operation thing? Just like, I just want to know.
It was a good call. Y'all did a good job.
Shit, I'm surprised. I'm surprised at how well it worked. And I knew that because when we did it, like, or after, like, we decided to pull out from the situation after we had all the information we need, it was when you guys were, like, asleep at some point. So you guys didn't even know until, like, hours later that, I did my thing and then Mick posted about it. And then I knew when you guys found out, because I was actively checking to see if you guys blocked me, and you guys did, which is how I found out that you guys found out about it. So
yeah, I saw the name, and I was.
And honestly, what we would have done after that,
yeah, that kind of baby.
What we would have done after that was completely determined by your guys' reaction to it, whether Prince would hold himself accountable or not, and try to. I mean, we'd still, like, obviously contact the police, because that's not a good thing you should do. But we were going to see if he was going to at least hold himself accountable and apologize, but instead he justified and blamed other people for it.
Yeah, that's why, like, whenever I thought about it, I was like, yeah, that's concerning. Like, I thought about it after the matter, and I was like, yeah, that's kind of concerning.
I mean, you've had relations with someone like that before, and I feel like at some point just like all like the fogginess that you've had, all the euphoria that you've had from being in a relationship with him just kind of went away, and you got that clarity to see that he was exactly like that, the kind of person that you've known just to stay away from.
Yeah.
And I know that clarity must have hit hard, and I apologize.
Clarity. Like, I knew what kind of a person he was the whole time. It was just, I wanted to see if I could change him. That was the only thing.
Jeez.
But I wasn't. I got tired of it.
Honestly, with my whole opinion on that kind of situation, if they're fucked up like that, don't try to change them, because there's some people you can't change. And
I guess my dog can agree.
So it's just, there's some people you can't change, and that's not your fault. That's not your fault, but I hope at least now that you have at least some experience to choose more wisely, and if to be able to view like those red signs, like those, if you see those red flags, you know, you gotta fucking stay away from it. You gotta do what you can to just not be involved with it, because no matter what you do, there's a very high chance you're not going to be able to just fucking change them.
True. And like the sad part was, he wasn't like that whenever I first got with him. It was just because of the Twitter popularity and all the art and shit, I guess. Because he was never like that. That's why I got with him, because I didn't see any red flags in the first place before I did, like until after.
Sometimes people just show a face and try to impress you, and that's how it usually is on the early phases of a relationship. And after a while, they show their true selves.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I'm glad you got out of that situation, because I think that's fucking terrible for anyone to have to go through, especially twice.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to think of what else to fucking talk about right now. My mind is drawing a blank here.
I mean, there's so much shit that happened with him.
I mean, we can talk about that shit. I have all day, and essentially the stream will just last as long as you're able to talk.
I mean, this is about him, so we might as well just talk about everything that happened.
And the whole goal, I guess, is to try to... The whole goal here is to try to spread awareness, and it's kind of like the thing with perfection, how we duck up all the shit that he's done.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you know, this is kind of that point. I want people to look through this entire thing, or at least through bits and pieces of it, and make up their own opinion about this. Even I really hope that opinion, though, is that this motherfucker deserves to be locked in a jail cell.
Yeah.
Here, real quick. You can, talk about the stuff. I'm just gonna share the YouTube stream link around. God damn, that bitch snoring.
Speaking about that, let me go retweet it. I will warn you, Prince is probably spying on the...
I could give a rat's ass. Alright, Prince, if you're seeing this... Prince, if you're seeing this... Good. Because I'm personally me. I don't know about anybody else in the team that I'm in to take you down. I don't know what their fucking intentions are, but my intention I will make very clear. I'm gonna put your ass in a fucking jail cell where you fucking belong, you creep. I want you to see this. I want you to know my intentions, because that's what's gonna happen to you. I don't fuck around with creeps. I don't fuck around with creeps. I'll let you know that real fucking quick. It looks like there's 2 people watching this stream right now.
That's good.
And I mean, even after the stream's over, it's going to be archived, so we can just send the link to people so that they can sit through it. And looks like we have a third viewer here. Cool. But it's going to be archived, so you'll be able to look back at it and just listen to the whole thing. And
Yeah.
Bum ass dog.
Honestly, though, I'm gonna say, go ahead, say something.
Oh.
Princess watching it. If
No.
you're watching this, Prince, yeah, you kind of had this coming. You should have resolved things with me sooner.
Oh, wait, who the fuck is this? Oh, shit, I got confused. I thought it was another person in here. My brain shut off. But you should have resolved things. And honestly, if you would have at least held accountability for yourself, this situation wouldn't be as nearly as bad as it is. But because of this shit, I will do everything in my power for you to seek legal action. You know, like, I want you to get in fucking... I want you to be in a jail cell. I'm gonna be as clear as I can be. I'm not gonna be your fucking friend. I'm not gonna help you out. I'm not gonna help you get away with this. You're not getting away with this at all. Because you're a fucking predator, and someone could have actually gotten hurt because of you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna fucking risk that. And, you know, as someone who's had to help deal with perfection, and as someone who's had to see the shit that he's done, and as someone who's actually talked to him, that man has no remorse. You know, I do not want to see another person like that, or someone who fucking takes it as a compliment to be like him. I don't want to let that slide. And it's not gonna. Yeah, I'm not gonna let it happen. I can't let that shit happen again. But okay, so you said you had you wanted to like talk about like some of the other shit that he's done, because we have as much time as we have, so you have time to just tell and break down the shit that he's done for the people watching, so that they can have an idea of just how terrible this person is outside of the stuff that happened recently.
Oh boy. Again, where do I start?
Oh, you know it's gonna be insane if the first thing you say is, "Oh boy, where do we start?"
Exactly. So about the OC situation, am I allowed to mention names, or would you rather me just not mention any names?
I'd say be considerate. You can mention names, you just have to try to find a considerate way of explaining it without, you know, trying to...
I mean, there's nothing bad about them.
Okay, that's okay. And if someone that we're talking about doesn't like this, then they can just contact me and I'll try to break it down for people so that they don't try to come after you, or if you don't want the attention from it.
Yeah, and I mean to be fair, I didn't ask for a reason. But whenever it comes to the OC stealing situation, that's going to be where I'm going to start off. It was him and one other individual that goes by his main OC is Xavier, but he goes by the Vonari company, well, family and company, or something like that. So there was an OC adopt that they both wanted to buy. Prince had messaged Vonari, and he was like, "Hey, can I make a deal with you? I want this adopt."
Right.
And they made a deal, meaning Prince got the original design, and Xavier got an alternate design. It was based on the original, but it wasn't made. And, like, everything was all good and dandy after that for a while, but until Prince stole the part that he made the agreement from in the first place. Meaning he stole the other OC that was made based off the original design on top of another design. And Prince's reasoning was, oh, he did this without my permission. Whenever it was with permission, I remember that much. And then this whole war and everything went on, and Prince was like, oh, these are my OCs, blah, 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 blah. And he even went out of his way to make a hentai art with one of them. With his self-insert in one of those OCs. And everybody hounded him for it. It was like, hey, this is robbery, stop this, blah, 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 blah. He would not listen. Until a lot of us had to jump on him for him to finally stop. Me being included. But other than that, that's the rundown of that drama.
Is there...
Hello.
I'm trying to figure out words for this. words are always difficult here.
Yeah, I tried to explain it the best I could, too, because it was a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so, like, what kind of, behavior followed after that whole incident? Like, what was his, like, what was his response to the whole thing?
Like, are you talking about after he finally stopped?
Well, no, like, what caused him to stop? Like, what was his response to all that drama that came from it?
I don't think he cared so much about the other people that would jump in his case. I think it was probably because of the fact that I even did it. So, to my knowledge, I think I'm the main reason why he even stopped.
Oh, jeez.
Because it was me and 3 or 4 other individuals that made him stop. Because they personally came to me and they were like, hey, we need to talk to you. It's about Prince. And I was like, okay, what's going on? And they were like, well, this drama is getting to be tiresome enough. We already know who's in the right and who's in the wrong, and it's not him. He lied to us. Can you get him to stop? And, like, I've been standing to the side almost this whole time, and I was like, I'll try to see what I can do. But I don't know if I'll be able to succeed. And they were just like, okay, that's fine. Thank you for trying, at least. And I was like, okay, so I went and tried, and then he tried to say, no, I'm not giving them up. And I was like, listen, this person, and this person all came to me and said this, and this. Are you sure you want to go down that road?
Yeah. Huh.
Because they were saying how bad of a boyfriend he was to me and all this other nonsense. Well, not necessarily nonsense, but something that shouldn't have been said.
We did get someone typing in the chat. Looks like they know you. They said, hi, sis.
The username, if I may ask?
It's showing a first and last name, so I don't know if I want to say that. But the OC that's on the profile picture is someone in Super Saiyan God. It's a female character. With, like, some sort of, like, black swimsuit top and fingerless gloves. I thought you'd know them.
I'm trying to think. I don't remember. If I If you show me the OC, maybe I can...
I'm too lazy to take a whole picture of my fucking my screen. But, hold on, I'll just type the name that shows up. I'll type it to you.
Yeah, just send it to me in DMs.
I just don't want to talk about personal, like, information, I guess.
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine. He doesn't mind being referred as by his first name. I do that all the time. But how you know? Jamel's one of those people that has also been there through all the drama. But he overall just tries to support both people if he can.
Hold on here. I said hold on, I'm typing to someone.
Oh.
Damn it. I hate typos. Alright. I just had to type some stuff because, yeah, it was just some personal stuff going on between the group, I guess. I mean, at that point, I will have to clarify that because I am going to I'm going to seek legal action against Prince. If you do somehow get in legal trouble because of this, there's not much help I can give you because at that point, that's their decision.
Since way back when she and Prince
It's their decision incriminate you for it, I guess, and have you, like, take responsibility, because that's beyond me. If you get caught up into it, I can't, I mean, even then, I'm not a lawyer, I can't do anything to help.
Yeah, I get it.
I mean, I'm primarily gonna go after Prince because he's not doing anything to help himself or to at least fucking take accountability, but if for any reason you get caught up into it legally, there's not much help I can really offer, and I don't plan on helping because that's something completely outside of what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, that's understandable.
On a personal, because I mean, if they do find you like guilty for anything, of course I'm not, of course I'm going to be disappointed and whatnot, and of course I'm going to have my say of whether, you're just as bad as him, but in my personal grandest fucking opinion, in my judgment, and people can hold me on this or not, they can get upset at me on this or not, and I can fucking care less. You've at least tried to own up to some of the shit that you have done, and you've tried to, how do I put it? You've tried to fix the stuff that you have done, but you're also, and you're not denying anything, but you're also you've also tried to talk to Prince and try to rationalize that this shit isn't okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at least behind the scenes from what I've saw, you've at least tried to explain that this shit isn't alright, and that, he fell for it and he's fucked.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, really, he told me himself that y'all ain't gonna do nothing. Which, I guess we'll see. Hey, he doesn't think y'all are gonna do anything.
Look, some of the people in the group that I'm in, they're going to be disappointed to hear, what I said, but in my opinion, the only thing that they could get Mizuna on is association, and if she gets in trouble, then she gets in trouble. That's not up to me, and I'll let law enforcement fucking decide whether she gets in trouble for association with Prince. And, my personal opinion, which I won't let affect this situation at all, because again, I'm not going to let anything stop, law enforcement if Mizuna does get in trouble too. I'm not going to let my personal opinion stop it. But my personal opinion is that Mizuna's at least tried to speak up and try to stop Prince on all the dumb shit that he's done. And after everything that's Prince has done, she isn't entirely equal to the blame. I know how that's going to sound, but she wasn't the one who decided to say that they were going to do RP. She wasn't the one who sent porn. At least from what I remember. I fucking hope not.
I didn't. Don't worry. I looked at everything.
Yeah, she's not the one who actually broke the law. The only thing that they could get her on is association. And whether you say that she enabled him or not, that's debatable because of the fact that she's tried to stop him, and she did do her best to leave the situation. She literally broke up with Prince and stopped fucking being involved with him, and that's her way of not enabling it and just not letting it slide. And the fact that she's helping us try to put him away, at least. But yeah, that's just for the people who are watching, who are thinking that, oh, well, you're siding with Mizuna on this. And personally, kind of, because again, I don't think she's entirely responsible for this situation, as she's tried to tell Prince not to fucking go along with this, and But from a legal standpoint, I can't say anything. If she gets in trouble from association, she gets in trouble, and that's not something I can control. And it's not going to affect my decision to seek legal action. And that's just how it is. If she gets caught into it, that's not my... If she gets caught into it, then she gets caught into it. If they find her guilty, then she's guilty. And if she's not, then she's not. That's just how it is. But with Prince, it's a definite motherfucker's guilty because of the fact that he's literally the one who's been doing most of the shit.
Exactly.
Is there any other topics that you'd wanted to talk about and have the people know, and just things you want to shed light on, things that you want to spread awareness for?
The main thing other than that pedophile drama was the OC drama, and I already talked about that. That was about as serious as I think it was going to get.
Yeah.
Other than the pedophile stuff. But the rest of it, in my personal opinion, I think it would, not best not being talked about, but, out of all the topics, the two most serious ones were already discussed.
Yeah. Do you have any final thoughts or anything? Just any extra shit, just final thoughts.
Well, I tried to help him. I tried to do what I could to get him out of this shitty situation that he put himself in, but I just got tired of it. I was tired of being his mom, because truthfully, I shouldn't have done it. And he shouldn't have brought me in. But at the end of the day, though, even then, as much as I don't like him anymore, I do wish him the best. And if he gets put in jail, then fine, whatever. But he just needs to change in the end, even though I won't be around.
Yeah. Well, honestly, because we've just run out of shit to talk about, I think that's going to be into this first, podcast type thing that I'm doing. I would say stick around for another episode, I guess. I don't know what the fuck we're going to do, because this is just something I came up with off the top of my head so that we can shed light about this situation.
Hi, sis. Kylie and I have been good friends for a while, since way back when she and Prince were dating, and I am glad she broke up with him.
Because a lot of y'all need to know.
Always.
Yeah, this is just for people who need extra details and, obviously the first-hand account of some of the shit that he's done.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can end it fucking here, because we've discussed everything for it at this point, and
Exactly.
I think we really said what we had to and explained everything we had to. But yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, you can go ahead and give me just a second.
Alright, well, it's been fun, I guess. I don't know. I'm just the one making this thing. But shit, if you want to stick around, then that's your decision. Make what you can of this situation. I'm not going to tell you what to think or how to feel. Except if you're siding with Prince, then you're a fucking idiot. And you need to seriously evaluate your life.
I have some individuals that are just neutral in the situation.
I don't think this is something you can be neutral on. I honestly hate the idea of being neutral on a situation like this where someone's literally breaking the fucking law. I think it's when it comes to this, it's either or. Either you support the motherfucker or you don't. Because this guy's literally a predator. He's literally a predator. There's no neutral ground to this.
People who are very much in neutral / siding with him. I'm not going to say who these people are because of the stream, but hopefully that they'll know that he ain't worth it.
He's not. I don't think anyone like that is worth sticking around for, especially after the things he's done to his own fucking girlfriend. And with that, I think I'm gonna end it here. I appreciate like the 4 people who actually fucking watched this. And I I mean it at least got around to people who understand the situation, I guess. But, you know, thank you for the people who are watching, and it's going to be archived, so if you want to share this around as just to spread awareness, go right the fuck ahead. That's something you guys can do. I don't really care. But, yeah, thank you for watching this dumbass stream. I hope all motherfuckers have a good day.